Hey everyone, how's it going? So I come to you at long last with a shout out video. I've been meaning to do one of these for a really long time. I really just hesitate to do them because I can't help but feel like I'll end up leaving someone out, and I feel bad about feeling like I'm leaving someone out of a shout out video. So that's why I've hesitated to do them for a long time. And I just want to let anyone know, anyone who, if you know that I watch your channel and I don't mention you in this video, it's, has nothing to do with you. It's just because I wanted to shout out, keep it to 10, because I think shouting out too many people all in one video kind of becomes a little bit meaningless. So perhaps I'll try to do another shout out video in the future. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to get that caveat out of the way, I guess. But this is my sort of response to 3 separate people who tagged me in the 10 BookTuber personalities tag. That tag was created by Alan Morton, and that's a tag where you have to fit BookTubers into certain personalities based on their channel, and I could not for the life of me fit the BookTubers I wanted to shout out into those personalities. If I had done that, it would have been sort of me forcing people into categories where they maybe didn't quite belong, and it just felt weird. So I just thought I would do 10 shout-outs, because that's what Rachel Morrow did, and she's the first person who tagged me. Rachel Morrow was also tagged in the 10 personalities tag, and did it this way, where she just did, 10 shout-outs. So thank you very much, Rachel, for giving me a little shout-out. Rachel has a great channel. She focuses a lot on Jewish literature, a lot of contemporary Jewish literature, and some older Jewish literature, sort of general nonfiction history and such, and literary fiction. She's really, she does these very casual, chatty videos on what she's reading. She does a lot of Am reading videos, Friday reads and such, as well as tags, of course. The next person who tagged me was Madeline over at Made with Books. She, I believe, is German. Correct me if I'm wrong, Madeline. But she reads a lot of German books. That's very interesting and different for BookTube. And again, just chats about them pretty casually, very intelligently. And she's just a pleasure to listen to. Finally, Brian over at Bookish also tagged me, and he does some of the best book review videos on BookTube that I have seen. So I highly recommend you go watch him. And, again, just really intelligent commentary on what he's been reading. A lot of contemporary literary fiction, some classics, some history, and other general non-fictions. Those 3 don't count as officially as part of the shout-out part of the video, even though I am sort of shouting them out right now. But anyway, those are who tagged me, and here are the people who I want to officially shout out and would recommend you go check out. The first is David Murphy, who I believe just finished a master's degree in finance and is getting a second master's degree, because I guess he hates himself, but he reads a ton of books that would either make my brain split in half or would put me to sleep, but he talking about them is super interesting to listen to. He reads a lot of, economics sort of books about, how capitalism works, communism, in a sense. I mean, he doesn't like communism, but he does read about it some. About books about, corporations and stuff and how they work, as well as a lot of history. He's very knowledgeable on history. And then some more light reads. He does a little thing called Western Wednesday. He was doing the read-along of Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. He's done a read-along of Anna Karenina. So, a lot of non-fiction, but with some lighter stuff as well, and really intelligent commentary. Second person I want to shout out is Jason Harrigan. He is from Ireland, and he just has one of the most incredible libraries you'll ever see, not just in, the contents of the books that he owns, the specific books that he owns, but the editions that he owns. He owns all these really rare antiquarian books and such, and some fascinating books that you will hear about nowhere else on BookTube, and just talks about them with an immense amount of love and passion, both for the books themselves and for the subject matter, so I highly recommend him. Next is Todd of Todd's Bursting Bookcase. He, again, a huge, incredible personal library, a ton of history, but also some more general, just lighter fiction stuff, and you know, just really casual, relaxed videos, which are really enjoyable to listen to. He's doing an extensive library shelf tour, so if you want to see a little book porn, especially as it relates to history books, then you should check out his channel. Next is Sharon Goforth, who has one of the most idiosyncratic tastes I've ever seen. She, you know, reads lots of classics. She's read, she and I buddy read, along with Crystal Bibulatlis and Elena Macrina, buddy read Goethe's Faust. She recently read The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. Buddenbrooks is one of her favorite books, but she's also very interested in American transcendentalism. She's read a book about that and is trying to read those writers. Lots of nonfiction, philosophy, history, and such. So just really interesting books and great intelligent commentary on them, great intelligent casual commentary on them. And again, I want to note here, if I become a bit of a broken record talking about these people, it's because I do kind of watch channels for similar reasons. I mean, basically, if a person's talking about interesting books and is talking about them in interesting ways, then I'm on board, essentially. If I become a broken record, that's kind of why, not because these people don't all have their own individual you know, attributes that make them different from the others. The next person I want to shout out is Kathy Grimm over at Grimm Reads. She just recently changed her channel name. She is a teacher of German at a university in Ohio and talks a lot about German literature, has been talking about Goethe's Faust quite a bit, also talks about, you know, Hertha Müller, Thomas Mann, and other German writers, but also, you know, she's been talking about Sylvia Plath a lot lately, reads a lot of classics, and she's just, yeah, again, really intelligent, casual commentary, but I really enjoy listening to her. Next is Brianna of Brianna's Library. She, I believe, is a graduate student in political science, I want to say. There's a ton of books on politics, so from, like, books by, like, civil rights leaders or revolutionaries to, like, sort of more formal stuff on political science and such. She reads books like that. She also reads history, as well as the occasional fiction book. But kind of like with David Murphy, she reads a lot of books that I think would make my brain split or would make me fall asleep, but she is not the slightest bit boring talking about them. So she's a great booktuber. Next is Tilly over at Tilly's Shelf. She is one of the best booktubers on talking about poetry. She did a brilliant reading of a John Donne poem, which was, I think, the first video of hers that I watched. And it's just one of my favorite booktube videos, but she also did a great video on the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, where she sort of analyzed N.K. Jemisin's use of poetic techniques in that book. And she's lately been doing these bookish breakfasts, as she calls them, these very casual videos where she just sits down and chats about what she's been reading and other things that have been going on in her life, some magazines she's been reading and such, maybe movies if they're sort of more bookish related. But yeah, she's great. Another great, articulate, intelligent booktuber. Next is Juan over at Bookish Islander. He reads a lot of books in Spanish, and I think also books in Portuguese. But you'll see a lot of sort of books that you might not hear about in other places just because he reads them in those languages and they might not be translated into English. So if, you know, you are limited to English, then you'll probably hear about some books you wouldn't have otherwise heard on his channel. And one thing that I really admire about Juan is his ability to pack a lot of intelligent commentary into a video without letting the video go on for too long. His videos tend to be under 10 minutes, but they never feel like rushed or scant in their content, and that's something that I really admire because, you know, I can't get anything intelligent out of my mouth unless I have like 20 minutes in which to say it. So he's a great channel. He reads a lot of, you know, contemporary stuff, again in Spanish and Portuguese sometimes, but also lots in English. He's doing a project right now. I believe it's called the Booker Through the Decades, and he's currently, I think, working on the current decade, and so he's reading, you know, Bring Up the Bodies by Hilary Mantel, and I think he just did a review of a book by Julian Barnes that won the Booker. So anyway, just a great channel, so go check him out. Next is a booktuber who's very new to me, Rainy over at Rainy Day Reads. She is an actress and actually performs in local plays a lot, and she's currently in this play that is about a theater troupe that's trying to put on Macbeth and doing it ineptly. So she's just a fascinating person, and I can't wait to watch more of her videos, but she's been doing really intelligent ShakeTube videos lately. Yeah, she just does a lot of, you know, again, in-depth, intelligent commentary, so I highly recommend her channel. Lastly, I have Marion Ryan, she reads a lot of contemporary stuff, a lot of contemporary fiction, some non-fiction as well, and like with Juan, she does a great job of packing a lot into her videos without going on for a very long time. You can sort of tell that she puts a lot of thought into everything she says on her videos. And again, that's something that I highly admire, and I think it's very difficult. I highly recommend her channel as well. So those are 10 booktubers who I would recommend you all go check out. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all enjoy these channels. Anyway, I will talk to you all later.